are you, by your own standards or estimates, a bit disappointed by what's happened this quarter?
The right word really is the whole year has been, in terms of demand, has been weak, and quarter four particularly, we've had this negative, the decline in jewelry has been more than expected by market. But we've been talking about the impact of the golden harvest, which is really, it is a whole chunk which has gone out of the system, and by the time we've reintroduced those things, and by the time it comes back in full force, it will take a few months. But this is certainly, in our opinion, assessment, everything a temporary phenomenon, and things are getting better. Certainly the Akshaya Tritiya sale was very encouraging, and so a one quarter doesn't make a whole season. Yes, the short answer, yeah, we were a little disappointed.
Well, it's showing, Mr. Bhat, we've seen a more happier you in the previous past.
Okay. I'm always happy, no problem.
Okay. Okay, good to get that smile back on your face. But, tell us a little bit more about what segments was the weakness more prominent. Was it jewelry? Was it eyewear? Was it watches? How have the three segments shaped up this quarter?
Let me come back to the old, point, which is overall the sentiment wasn't very strong. Jan-Feb, particularly for jewelry, was weak, and watches ramped up because we had a very good activation, and Brand Titan did very well. Eyewear had same store growth, which was flat. We didn't have growth, but again, eyewear overall has had a very good run for the year. I think these are difficult times from consumers' point of view, and therefore, as I said earlier, these discretionary purchases like watches, unless you have strong reasons to go to the store and buy, people don't come out. That is the nature of the category. So, while across the board the performance has been weak, the larger impact was on account of the lower performance in jewelry, and that was impacted because of the golden harvest.
How much?
So, the sentiment was poor, and we've had a specific impact.
Fair point. So let's talk about that one big specific impact, and you mentioned it 3 times already, the golden harvest scheme. What was the impact of that?
See, it was running at about 15 to 20% of our total sale, and our estimate is we would have, in terms of sales, we would have lost about 700 crores worth of sales in the year. So it's a whole chunk of a certain kind of customer who doesn't have an opportunity to come back. Now that we have reintroduced it, so there was a huge gap in between because of regulation. But the basic demand for gold jewelry continues, but that facility of buying, paying every month and in advance and buying after 12 months was completely withdrawn. Now it is reintroduced in another form because it is limited by our net worth and so on. And that is picking up, it's catching on.
There are 2 brokerage notes, CLSA, Credit Suisse, which are saying that the requirement of PAN card for over 1 lakh rupee sale is a big concern for companies. Now, I don't know what can you do about it, but do you believe that will hamper sales going ahead?
Yeah, this is a national cause and we have to support it. I think customers have to understand, and I think, CLSA is right in flagging that concern, but company will find ways and means of attracting customers. See, the point is our average price is far lower than the rest of the market, in the sense we get customers so our average price is lower than 1 lakh rupees. So the proportion of sales below 1 lakh rupees for us compared to other jewelers is far higher. Therefore, the whole industry is going to be impacted. But the concern we have really is that the government's objective of curbing black money through this introduction perhaps will now serve the purpose. I think it has to go up from 1 lakh to 10 lakhs rather than being brought down from 5 lakhs to 1 lakh, but that's a separate point. Yes, the short answer, it will affect everybody.
Okay, so
in fact, it will affect the category because, you know, if it's going to be a problem to show your, but that's the nature of the beast. I mean, if you're bringing in reforms of this kind, behavior has to change.
What's the plan then? Are you looking to increase the number of stores, jewelry stores that is, in the next few quarters?
Yeah, we are still, see, the fundamental belief in the Indian potential, in the Indian consumers' love for jewelry and the size of the market and our low market share, both in terms of volume and value, as well as the fantastic awareness and the desirability of our brands. See, the desirability and the awareness of our brand Tanishq far exceeds its reach. Therefore, we will continue to expand the network, and in fact, we'll be more aggressive in this year than last year, because you're investing for the future. So there is no question about that. We are not building a business for this year or next year alone. So the fundamental belief continues. Therefore, we will invest in the network and in brands.
The dynamics of the watch market are changing, and they will change more because of Apple Watch. My understanding is that Titan is also planning a tech watch, more like a gizmo watch.
Well, let me, it's not just Apple. I think it is more to do with technology itself. The incorporating of technology in a watch is what this whole change is all about. It is, let me give you a long answer. See, watches were actually going out of the consideration set, say, of the more tech oriented people. So it is becoming more and more a lifestyle accessory, and the Swiss are really, selling large numbers at very high end only because it has become an accessory and something you own and you signal your status. But at the middle and the lower end, the technology is bringing people back into wristwear. The only difference is the mobile companies are trying to put a mobile on your wrist, whereas watch companies need to incorporate useful technology on watches. So we are coming at it as a watch company. It will still be a good looking watch and incorporating functionality to make it more useful. That is the focus of the company, and that's the way we are moving forward. And I think it's a good development in the watch industry because it will bring more people back into wristwear.
I know you're saying that it's not just Apple, it's technology, but we've seen an Apple Watch coming in the last quarter. Will we see a Titan Watch coming in the next quarter or the quarter after?
That's what I said. We are working on bringing technology onto the
It gets launched when, Mr. Bhat? When does it get launched?
It will take a couple of quarters more.
Okay, before we wind up the discussion, Mr. Bhat, give us a sense of how FY16 would look like. I mean, how, in number terms, sales, profit growth, margins, how would they work out?
I have, no, we don't indicate any numbers, we don't give any guidance, but let me be, our 5-year refrain has been the same. Irrespective of this nature of the economy, we have to be realistic with state of the economy. We still have strong belief in the consumer market in India, and therefore actions taken by manufacturers certainly drive demand, and therefore we have aggressive plans of growth, both of network and creating demand. We will bring in new products, bring in new technology, and the 9% growth that you've seen last year is certainly not acceptable to us. It's a single digit growth after a very long time. So we will go for high double digit growth as a target for the current year. That is what the objective is. So aggressive top line growth is. Bottom line, well, it depends on which business grows faster, but certainly top line aggressive growth through both network expansion as well as investing in the higher margin businesses more aggressively, like watches and eyewear and so on.
Mr. Bhatt, appreciate your time. Good luck for FY16, and all of us will certainly be waiting for that high-tech Titan Tech watch.
Useful watch. Thank you.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.